All right, good. It was a good day today. We had 14 guys signed. We were really not many surprises, which is a good thing. I mean, everything came in just as we thought they would, and we were pretty much, done with everybody on this side of the country, and by about 7:15, and then waited another 45 minutes for Jace Reuter, and he jumped in, and so it's been a good day.
Larry, what's been the biggest challenge with adapting to the early signing period?
I just think it sped everything up. I think there were a lot of kids out there that wanted to make decisions and wanted to do things quicker, and so we were fortunate enough with these kids to be on top of them early, and I think it was, I think our plan and the way we went about things worked out pretty good for us.
Was the education process in terms of relaying the new information to recruits and their families, was that a part of it? Was there a lot of misinformation floating around?
Well, I don't know if there was a lot of misinformation. I mean, kids knew that they either they could sign today or they could sign in February. Some of them, out there are choosing to wait until February. Some decided a long time ago where they wanted to go to school, and they just wanted to get it done. And believe it or not, there's a lot of them that are tired of the recruiting process. I mean, we some of these guys we've been recruiting for 3 or 4 years. Some of them for 18 months. Some of them, I mean, they're all for a long period of time. If you could sit in a guy's house or hang out with him for a day and see how many times his phone rings or his how many text messages he gets in a day, you would understand why some of them get so tired of the process.
Moving forward, how does your plan change leading up to the February signing day from previous years, since you only have a limited number of spots back?
Yeah, we know what we have left. We know the guys that we are still recruiting, and so we will be able to, we'll just pinpoint those guys and be working harder on those guys, and at the same time evaluating more guys for the 19 class.
Do you think that might be a bigger transition than actually acclimating to the early period, because there are fewer guys and you can kind of zero in on a couple of guys? You don't have to worry about reassuring the ones you've had for a while.
Well, everybody's going to zero in on those guys, though. There's fewer guys. There's fewer in the pool. The more guys that sign now, there's fewer guys left for February. So more people are going to zero in on them. So. But, I mean, it really is not going to change. I mean, we're not like picking up new guys. I mean, we've been on guys for quite a while now. We'll continue to recruit them and try to finish them off, and at the same time start looking towards the 19 class. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that now you have in some cases the majority of your class signed, and you're going to you just get another step ahead.
Coaches often talk about building pipelines in certain high schools. You have 2 Wake Forest guys and 1 on the roster already in Zach Gills. Not just for that school in particular, but how important is it to build those pipelines to different high schools throughout the country?
Well, I think it's always good, especially if it's a really good high school, and Reggie Lucas has done an unbelievable job over there at Wake Forest, and 2 back-to-back state championships, and we're fortunate to have some of his players on our football team. And so, but you want to do that throughout the state. I mean, everywhere that you can, especially the teams that have good players. And so it's always helpful, because, those guys come to your school and they have success and they're treated right. I mean, they go back and they say good things about you to their teammates, and, it automatically puts you in a position where you have a chance.
Receiver was a position of need for you.
Definitely.
You got 2 really highly rated ones, and I know a lot can change between now and September, but do you feel like Adams and Brown are 2 guys?
Yeah, I mean, Jordan, let me start with Jordan. I mean, Jordan's a guy that, I started recruiting back when he was about 4th grade, when his dad was working for me at Southern Miss, and he's coming to the camps and he's competing with all the high school guys, and he's not just competing with them. I mean, he's excelling. So you knew then. So I mean, Jordan's a tremendous athlete that plays both football and baseball. He can really do it all, And then Diami was a guy that we got on early, a long guy that can really run and catch the ball. And so, we were fortunate when those guys were here for the freak show that we made some really good inroads, and they did some great things. And so, yeah, we're excited about what they bring to the table.
Are there any concerns about Adams? I mean, he could be drafted in the MLB draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. He's a really good baseball player. So, I mean, but I mean, I don't really have anything that I can do about that. So, I mean, he's gonna play baseball, and if it doesn't, if that's not a part of it, the plan is for him to play baseball and play football here.
How much was Mike Fox a part of, maybe not just recruitment, but just kind of reassuring him that there'll be an opportunity there for?
Yeah, I don't know how much they did on the baseball side of it, because we don't recruit at the same time and everything. But I know they were, when we were recruiting Jordan, and we talked to them about whether they would like for him to be a part of the team. They were definitely for it. So, so I'm sure that Mike and I will have to, and along with Deke, his dad, will sit down and probably map things out for his future while he's here.
How much do you expect Brown and Adams to help you next year, given the loss of the wide receiver and their immense talent?
I mean, and not just them. I mean, we expect all these guys. We really do. We talk to them. It's not, hey, come in here and redshirt and let's see what happens to you over the next 4 years. It's hey, we want you to come in with a mentality that you're going to compete for a job when you step foot on this campus. And we're going to develop you, but we want you to come in with the mentality that you're trying to earn a job. There's no pecking order. We don't care whether you're a freshman or a senior. It's about production, and you produce and you get on the football field. And so both of those young men will have the opportunity, just as some of our true freshmen did this year. They'll have an opportunity to show that the offense or the defense or the special team is better when they're on the field. And if that's the case, then they'll play.
What do you like about the two quarterbacks you got? Obviously, one think that since June. Another one was a late commit, kind of scramble for that last guy. What do you like about those two guys, Reuter and Fortin?
Well, it really wasn't a scramble. I mean, we've been recruiting him for the whole time. So it's not like we just all of a sudden started recruiting him 2 weeks ago. We've been recruiting him from the beginning. But both of them are, the type of guys that we look for in quarterbacks, as far as, they both can run, they both can throw, they both have been tremendous leaders, not only on their team but at their high schools. They've done really well in the classroom. Their character is impeccable, and so we're looking forward to getting them in here in January.
How healthy is Cade? He had a season-ending injury. He had a bad injury this season. What is his health right now?
You'd have to ask Cade. I mean, I don't talk about injuries.
Well, but he's not officially here.
Oh, but he's mine.
He's not, okay. He's not officially
He's mine.
I'm trying to throw him fast.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
What was it like going to Norton, Kansas? I've heard that's quite the trek via a plane and automobile.
Yeah, it's out there. It was really cool, to be honest with you. In fact, Jace kind of showed me around town. Spent some time there, and he showed me around town. And I mean, you got your courthouse, and you got the square, and you got the movie theater, right? And everything is just right around the square. And it was like almost going back into the 50s. I mean, it was really cool. I mean, we went and saw the house that had the most Christmas lights on it, and it took about 5 minutes to see the town. But I think it's neat to see a kid that's raised in that environment, and it'll be interesting as he comes to the University of North Carolina and everything that Chapel Hill has to offer. I told him as well as a lot of these guys, my challenge is for you to get more out of the university than the university gets out of you. And so, it's an exciting time in these kids' life, because they get to decide what they want to be in this world, and they get to experience it right here in Chapel Hill. And
how'd you get there? What was the route? I've heard.
I got in a plane and I flew right in to about 3 minutes from his house, if that much. And then there's not any rental cars or anything like that, but someone had left a car there for me, and then I made the long trek to his house of about 3 minutes.
Speaking of transportation, you flew by helicopter to see some kids in the state this year on Friday nights. Did any of those kids, when talking to you, like, Coach, that's pretty cool, you flew into that football?
Oh yeah, every single one of them think that's pretty cool. I mean, and it's you know, I mean, you don't travel in a helicopter all the time, so it's you know, I enjoy it because I'm able to get to multiple schools at one time. So I can get to, you know, and see one school, get up and go see another one immediately, and that's the only way you could possibly do that, you know, is you're trying to get to kids in the state. And so it's great to be able to do that. But yeah, I think the kids enjoy it. I think it's a big thing when you pull in there.
It's obviously it's convenient, but in the back of your mind, it's a cool factor too for all the kids and everybody to see doing that.
Everything in recruiting is. It's all about them.
How much clarity in your mind do you have at the quarterback position? You two guys start a couple games and then you bring these two guys.
You know, I mean, you guys don't want to believe it, but I really, every year, at the end of the year, I sit down with the guys that are here and say, okay, we don't have a starter. You know, this is what you need to do in the spring to be the starting quarterback at the University of North Carolina. And, you know, so you know, it's been the same way every year. I don't change that. I've been doing that 10 years that way. And even when there was an established starter coming back, still said the same thing to them. And the things that I think they needed to work on and the things they need to do to improve so that they could be the starter for the next year. Because really, you know, 17's gone, and we're talking about the 18 team. And so all these guys have an opportunity to earn a spot at quarterback, at left guard, at kicker, at defensive tackle, whatever the position is. And I want it to always be about competition for these guys in everything they do. And I know that a lot of people out there don't really believe that. They think, nah, you know, this guy was a starter. He's, you know, everybody knows he's going to be a starter. And sometimes it works out that way, but sometimes it doesn't. So, you know, I don't want anybody resting on their laurels. I want them all competing all the time.
Javonte Williams had a highly accomplished high school career, but how long was he on your radar? You guys just offered him, I think it was about a week ago.
Yeah, but he was on our radar. I mean, he came to camp in the summer and worked out at safety with us, and just was not what we were looking for at the safety position. And his senior year, we started keeping up with him and what he was doing at the running back position. You know, we were like, oh wow, you know, I mean, he does fit that mode now, you know, because he was 5'9", 212 pounds, and you know, rushed for, you know, a bunch of yards and led his team to a state championship, was MVP and all those things. So, you know, not to, you know, and then the off the field things are probably the thing that put him over the top. I mean, because he's such a great young man with you know, such a high GPA and wants to be a anesthesiologist. I mean, yeah, we're excited about him, we really are.
You've been doing this a long time, but you know, when you get close to signing day, some guys that have committed, they take visits elsewhere. Mm-hmm. For example, Chris Collins went down to Miami. Have you gotten to a point where you just kind of, you don't worry about stuff like that?
No.
Does it still keep you up at night wondering how the trip went and how he's going to respond to that? Because you also had something this past week.
I don't think that I'll ever get to the point where I will just sit back and say, yeah, no problem.
Well, I mean, like, does it stress you?
Yeah, it stresses me.
As it did 10 years ago?
It stresses me the same, yes, very much so. Yeah, every single one of these guys stresses me. I mean, really. I mean, you just never feel comfortable, you know, until they've actually put their name on a piece of paper and they're, you know, it's just, I've been doing it too long. There's no time that you can ever be comfortable. You really can't.
So when you saw Chris's name come in today, when you saw the signature,
I was relieved and knew I didn't have to worry about Chris Collins.
Larry, what was your most pressing concerns coming into this recruiting class, and how do you think you did?
Well, I mean, this class isn't done, so that's hard to say right now. I'm happy with where we're at right now. I really am. You know, we knew we did what we expected today, you know, and we know what we have to do the rest of the way. And so now we will focus on that. And, you know, after February 7th, I'll be able to tell you if we've completed that task.
When the concept of an early signing period came out a few months ago, it was met with a lot of negativity. Do you think that perception will start to change any now that you and a lot of other coaches have gone through their first one? And do you just accept it as the new normal?
Well, I think there's going to be criticism no matter what. I think some guys are going to like it and some guys aren't going to like it. And that's just about with every rule and anytime you have any change. But, you know, to me, it just doesn't, whether I like it or not, it really doesn't matter. This is the way it is, so we better make the best of it. And so that's the way we approach it. We may complain about it, we may not like it, but I don't necessarily like driving 55 either, but that's the law. So, you got to make the best of it. And that's just the way it works. And so, until they change it, we'll deal with it.
Would you like to see an earlier period?
Dad said August.
Well, originally, that's kind of where I was, is that before camp started. So you didn't have to, if you had 10 guys that wanted to come to your school at the end of the summer, let them sign, and so they don't have to deal with it anymore, and the high school coach doesn't have to deal with it anymore, and you don't have, I don't know. I'm even just here at this point, I see how much faster things are happening, on December 20th, and I don't know. I don't know if it's good or not. I really don't know. I don't know the answer yet.
How many of these 14 are going to be here in a few weeks, next month?
I think we have 6 guys that are going to be here at the semester break.
You said you were happy with where you're at. Everyone loves signing day.
Right.
But this feels like a win for you, these guys that you bought in.
I do. I really do feel good, Joe. I mean, it's,
I should say in contrast to the season that you had, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, heck, that was very, very much so. Yeah, I'll agree with you. Yeah, it was a tough year. So it was, but I will say this: it wasn't like we got out on the road and kids, when we went in to talk to them, they thought that the sky was falling in. I mean, they know what's going on. They see what we're doing with the program, and so there weren't any problems in that situation.
Larry, you mentioned midway through the year that you're going to take a bigger role in kind of the play calling type of situation. Are you happy with the structure, with how the play calling is taking place, with Cap being involved and Heck being involved?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Do you anticipate changing that moving forward for next year?
No, not as of right now. No.
Coaches always talk about locking down the state. I mean, every coach in UNC is always trying to do that. Everyone wants to do that.
Every coach in every state wants to do that, right?
Your backyard, obviously, to use some buzzwords. Y'all signed 4 of the top 20 in the state, and obviously, I mean, a guy in your backyard decommitted, went to the rival. I mean, what happened there? If you can talk on that, and how do you think you did in state?
I think we did great. I'm happy every single one of these guys that we have on our roster from the state of North Carolina, and we got to continue to recruit the state of North Carolina as hard as we possibly can, because there's great players here, and we want to keep these kids at home.
All right, anything else? Thank you, folks. Thank you, Coach Fedora.
So we can talk to Kate now.